Good evening. This is Simmion, coming to you from the outer reaches of the universe, bringing you energies to support your day and to take you further into the world of your Creator. Listen carefully to everything we have to say tonight, because it is the opening of a new time in your life, the opening of the essence of your own being into a world that was introduced many months ago. At this time, everything has been placed in your hands. And with that, the responsibility that we have for supporting you has increased immensely. But knowing beyond a doubt that each one of you is totally responsible, not for anything, not for one thing, and not for anybody else, but for yourself, is the essence of our whole confidence. We have delivered much of what you expected for the future, and now it's yours. What you do with it is not your decision. What you do with it is always and every time part of your own destiny. A destiny does not make a decision. A destiny is something that is in total tune with who you are. The destiny of a rose is to become a flower of an unknown color in an unknown place for an unknown reason. And your destiny is to become a brilliant being in an unknown place for an unknown reason with an unknown destiny. It sounds very much like complicated words that mean nothing, but in fact, what is about to happen is you will actually blossom into something unknown to you and to everybody else. But unlike the flower, you will not have a short time to show your essence. Your essence will blossom and blossom and blossom and blossom again and never run out. So nothing's being offered to you. It's just the time where what you know to be the real you will appear in front of you continually and never, ever give you the wrong impression because of somebody else's vision. There's been a long time of intermingled influences that each one of you have responded in your own way to, and have developed systems and methods to withstand the pressures either of others or of the system around you. From today on, there are no pressures, there's only you. And in the next moment, there's a new you. And in the moment after that, a new one again. Each one better than the previous one. And as an influence comes into your world, you will smile at it, and it will turn and elevate into something better. There's never been a case where an angelic being is not human. There has been a case where a human is not an angelic being. But now that's changed. And you will find that part of you comes to the surface and shocks you in a moment. The beauty of every part of everyone is about to overwhelm the whole world. In saying all this, you will understand that we have looked deeply into everything, and we know exactly what is fictitious and what is not. This is far from fictitious, even though many things throughout your day are based on fictitious. From today on, that won't happen. And anything that does seem like it's the same as before will just be residue that will be cleaned away as you keep moving forward. The excellence of the human race is about to show its head. Not in the systems and not in society, but in everything that occurs in every moment in every person's life, no matter what the circumstance may be. Once we listen to the conversations within us, we will see that some are not needed. And we'll also see that the conversation amongst us is much more important than the conversation with ourselves. The only reason we have a conversation with ourselves is because we forgot about everyone else. The interaction will take on a different form. It won't be competitive. It won't be an aggressive discussion. It won't be who's got the biggest problem. Even if you kick your toe, you'll only mention it once, because you know that spreading that sort of thing at this time in life is not what is necessary. But what is necessary is the sudden burst of energy that blows it away, even if you use expletives. The whole thing is gone. The event has blown up and it's gone back to the components that created it. Each time you look into the past, you will see that you can't see it. You will understand that the past that you think is the past is only a story you brought forward. Because the past is gone. And the story you brought forward is a great story. but it's not the past, and it's not to be learnt from. It's just a good story. Every step along the way is made up of a lot of good stories. And the content of many of our conversations are good stories. Whether they're true or not true doesn't really matter, as long as you see that they're stories. And when people talk about the truth, you say, well, that's a good story as well. Because there is no such thing. There's only what's here, what happened, and the recording of what did happen is always a story. Because nobody can record the inner feelings of any one person, let alone the inner feelings of the multitude. Nobody can record 10 minutes ago what happened in the backyard next door. Yet everyone acts as if they know. They never saw it, they have no idea, but a story appears, and therefore they must know. So see that there are many millions and millions of interactions that happen in every moment. And the interactions that are important are yours. Only yours. The interaction with other people, you will see in the response of their smile. It's not what you do or you say, it's an interaction of fields that makes everybody walk around and they can't stop smiling. And you didn't say anything to make that happen. You just interacted with your presence, your gentleness, and never tried to display anything. So the responsibility is always with you. The responsibility for yourself and nobody else. Not even how you act. Because how you act is usually part of your destiny. It's part of the events that are thrown in your world to keep you excited and to show you that maybe you have to turn left or right or whatever. They're not important after the event, but they're important in the split second before you make a decision. As soon as you make a decision from here on in, you know you made a mistake. Because every decision is a mistake. You continue to move and you decide nothing. And you will enjoy every moment and everything will grow beyond belief. So now we're starting to talk about the very thing that's the most important in everybody's life, and that's life itself. And as we advance and step further into that life, we will expose things that are totally impossible, that are totally ridiculous and totally exciting. And as we expose these things, we will see the creation of all that you could possibly imagine. Because you speak about it, because you accept it, because you don't criticize, and because it's good fun. The more ridiculous it is, the more you generate in the whole universe to make it happen. And so, How many people have dreamt of flying for so many years? You can go and hop on a plane now and fly. But that hasn't satisfied the need to fly without aid. So you look ahead and you'll see that it's not just possible, it's probably the next thing on the list. And if you go back in history, there were all those people who said, you can't get off the ground with any mechanism, it's impossible. And now we carry 400 or 500 tons on one plane, easily, and more if you want. The excellence of what is available is brought by each one of you, and the interaction of each one of you in a world of sanity. And so today we're introducing sanity. Sanity in every part of everything, with such precision you can't believe your own capability. The feeling of assistance from everywhere will grow and grow and grow. And at the same time, the feeling of independence will grow and grow and grow. The total opposite to what your logic says. And as we depend on one another, we will also release one another. Because the word depend implied responsibility to another person, and nobody is responsible to anybody. The beautiful dance of creation happens because nobody controls anybody or anything. And so if someone was supposed to pick you up to take you to the dance and they don't pick you up, it's not the end of the world. It's just another sequence. And it demands no reaction, just open eyes, open heart, movement, and disturbance of that moment so that another one shows up. So see the simplicity of disturbing every moment in such a way that it is always talking to you. This is a very important point for everybody, to know that the moments will talk to you if you just give them a little stir. But what won't talk to you is the second self that's sitting behind you, ready to take on the so-called past and present it to you. If you just stir that moment, it all disappears. And a whole new moment presents itself. All the difficulties in your physical being will soon have a total solution. And every person will know exactly how to do it. Every person will have a unique way of dealing with whatever. And the interaction and combination of all these abilities will be there for you to reach out to or to just attract. And you won't need help, because help will arrive before the sense of need comes into your life. We've gone a long way, but where we're going from here is a lot further. And it will happen at very high speed. So don't be surprised if between 1 week and the next, when we talk, your whole world has changed and you can't recognize what you heard the previous week. If you go back and look at what has been presented, it won't be the same as when it was presented, because what is presented each time you read, watch, or listen is for that moment. If you attempt to look back to what it was, you won't even know what you're looking at. So we have produced a dynamic presentation for everyone, so that no matter what they need, whether it be now or in 50 years' time, it's contained in what we say, in a language that's hidden behind the words, in a language that attracts the special parts of you to the greatest vision of all, and that's the vision of your life. From here on in, we will talk probably a little longer than normal, and allow you to feel what it's like for the energies to generate within you in a form that is not written for anybody. They will generate within you as you, to increase your depth in your world and in your sensations. And as you speak to one another, you won't have the words to express exactly what happens to each one of you. This is more than you asked for. This is the very thing that drives us to come into your world. Not to show you anything, to present the very gifts that you have given to us by your presence. If you weren't where you are, doing what you're doing, having the experiences you're experiencing, we would not be able to deliver what we deliver. And that produces an excellence for us, and we can assure you it will produce an excellence for you. Time is changing for everyone. And as we speak, we turn time back, turn it upside down, and never send it forward again. Because the difficulty with time is the lack of understanding. It was created over a long time. And therefore, it means nothing in this instant. And as we move that factor around, you will see that everything we say is happening right at this moment, and in the next moment, and in the next moment. And the future is absorbed immediately. And immediately is not the same as a moment. Immediately is before. So now we're getting into the complexities of simplicity. Simplicity can provide anything, and it provides it before you actually need it. That's where we're going, and that's what we're providing. So now I'll leave you with the wonderful gift and the perfect love that you give us. And we encourage you to love one another beyond all things, but never define it to anyone. Thank you. I am Simmion.